This is just an underpainting. I'm about to dry it with my hair dryer, and then I'll get started with putting down, I don't know. I actually don't even know what I'm about to paint, so I'm just kind of going with it. And I'm just hoping that I'll figure it out because I have literally no clue what I'm about to do. If anybody has any suggestions, I will consider. Kind of want to make sure that that's flat. Okay, I'm about to dry it. Okay, so now I'm gonna get started with putting down my base, I guess you would call it. This is an underpainting, so this is just so I'm not working on a plain white canvas, and I keep my paint in a bag because it actually makes them last a while. And then I just make sure to spray them every time I take them out before I put them away, and throughout my painting, maybe every 20 to 30 minutes I'll spray them, and this keeps my paint pretty fresh for the most part. So I do have a few colors already, but honestly, fresh paint is always better. So this is a main paint that I use. I mix this with almost everything at the beginning. I might layer stuff on top of it without it, but this is always what I add. This makes them really nice, and it's just good paint, so I'll always use white. I know you probably shouldn't, but I do it anyway. I don't follow any rules. And then I like this green. Hi, thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. This is my first time going live, and I'm gonna start doing it more often. I'm just gonna add a little bit of paint. Don't need too much, I can always add more. And then these are the paints that I'm using. So, hi. I appreciate you joining. At first, nobody was watching, so I was thinking maybe I shouldn't go live, but I'm glad that you showed up. I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm just probably going to paint some sort of little dreamscape world. I'm thinking maybe some sort of rooms. I've been really into rooms lately. And I'm thinking I'll probably do pink and this color to start. Oh, cool. That's awesome that you do that. That's really cool. So you're an artist too. I think I'll use this color. I like these colors. And also don't mind, I got a cut, so. I don't know where to put this, maybe over here. It's kind of messy, but it's how it is sometimes. All right, let's get started. Obviously I'm gonna show you guys the process live, but I'm not a professional. I'm mostly self-taught. Yes, I love colors. I've been really into painting rainbow lately, just like anything with rainbow colors. Makes me happy. So, yeah, that's true. I have this this down so I don't get my table ruined. Okay, so now I'm gonna start. I go into my white a little bit just to, make sure the color shows up. And then I am going to just kind of wing it. I never really have any type of plan, and I just kind of go for it. I mean, look, I can't even draw a straight line, honestly, but it's okay. Because it's acrylic paint and I can just paint over it. I honestly get jealous of oil painters because they can blend it so easily. But if I'm being honest, I make too many mistakes and I never have a plan, so acrylic is the way it needs to go. And my grandma always told me that oil paints are toxic, so although I think some acrylic paint is bad for you, but if you get cadmium free, it's usually fine. So now this is going to be the wall of the first room. And I'm honestly just going to paint as many rooms as I can inside of this square that I'm making. And so, oh, I hate it when this happens. Come here. Look at that. Oh, hate that. Okay. Yes. Aw, thanks. You're so sweet. I appreciate your support. Yeah, I'm gonna put some rooms inside of here. So I am going to paint as many rooms as I can fit inside of this painting. I'm basically just going to build. Honestly, I feel like I'm some sort of interior designer when I do this, or maybe even like a architect. Not literally, but with my dreamscapes. I also could try a different perspective than this, but this is just easier for me. And I'd like the painting to be more seamless since I'm on live. But I have no clue what I'm going to do inside. That's okay. I'll figure it out. And then every time I'm done with like an area, I'll dry it. So I use a hairdryer and I just dry it for, a few seconds, and then I can move on because it's acrylic. It dries fast anyway, but it's better when I can just dry it with a hairdryer so I can move quicker. My goal for this painting is to finish it within 3 hours, but that's probably not realistic. Maybe more like 3.5. Okay, so that's not even. That one, okay. This one needs more. I just kind of eyeball it. Which is kind of funny because I'm pretty, I'm kind of a perfectionist, but I'm too lazy to actually sketch this out. And, yeah, I do put as much detail. I like detail, so this is like my least favorite part of painting, is getting all of this ready for the detail. And then I like putting detail, but I never know what I'm going to add until I'm doing it, and I kind of just put it where it feels right in the moment. And oddly enough, I actually have like really bad chronic pain in my hands, so I really can't be sketching. I need to like save my hands for the painting process since they kind of hurt a lot usually, but painting is worth it. So this is the floorboard. Kind of looks horrible before I get all the detail into it, but I'm gonna do, oh, see I messed up right there. I'm got very shaky hands. And then we'll do this side around the same as the other one. Maybe a little bit taller. And then I'll probably probably. I'm going to do checkered floors for this, even though it's quite, I'm going to say time consuming, but it's a small canvas, so it shouldn't take too long, but it's obviously meticulous and I freehand it, so. But I kind of have done it so many times at this point that I know how to do it. Okay, so we've got the floorboard. Or at least the outline for the floorboard. And I'm not sure if that looks even or not. I feel like this side is shorter. And then I'll probably do grass inside the room. I really like doing grass because it's simple and I like to put objects on the grass, and I'm not that advanced of a painter, so it's easier for me to paint objects on just like a solid surface rather than like a checkered floor. Just, I think, I mean, I'm sure that I could probably figure it out if I did it the other way, but. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. I don't actually normally watch people on live, so I don't even know how people normally do it. And I'm pretty new to YouTube. I usually just watch like background videos of relaxing scenes with relaxing sounds in the background. But I figured, why not go live and share my process, which is just something that I've adapted over the past few years. And my style is super new. Oh, perfect. Well, I'm glad to hear that you want to hear me talk. I guess that's a good point, it's good to talk to people. And I actually never do talking videos either, usually. I'm kind of a new creator, I would say. I started on TikTok, just posting a few videos, and then one of them went a little viral, and I ended up making a website after that, which I make a few sales here and there, but obviously, I'm not really making anything profitable at the moment, but that's the goal, is to eventually, be able to do this and pay my bills doing it. Hi, Liam. Welcome. It's nice to see you. Thanks for joining. Okay, so this is... I'm now realizing I didn't actually want it that color. I wanted that pink. But... No, this is a... Oh, did you order that? I didn't know that was you. Or when you are going to order it. You'll have to let me know. I think that you said that you live abroad, so let me know in an email before you buy it. And then if it costs extra, I might need you to buy like a different priced print. So then it covers the extra cost of the shipping if it's a lot, but then I can send that print. Okay, so this is the wrong color. So I'm going to dry it real quick, and then I'm going to paint it the right color. Well, I appreciate you wanting to buy a print, so I will be happy to get that to you. I actually sold one to someone in Australia, and it was maybe like an extra $10, $15 at most for the shipping, but it shouldn't be anything too crazy. I don't know about the tariffs now, though, so hopefully it's not anything crazy. So I did this the wrong color, of course. I mean, and it's like uneven anyway. Look at that. That's horrible. So I do have I have someone who I have print my work, and they're like a trusted printing company, and they usually have the prices, and I just ask them, or it shows how much shipping is, but it shouldn't be anything hopefully too crazy. But it might be an extra, 10, 15, maybe 20 at most. I'm hoping, if there's no tariffs on it. So I don't know if there's going to be tariffs now because I haven't done that yet. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, I hope to be able to get you a print. I don't want it to be crazy expensive, obviously. It's just the shipping. The US I do free shipping because it's usually around the same for all the prints, but the international is just a little extra. So I'm doing pink, obviously. I did that. I don't even know why I painted it blue, probably because I'm talking and distracted, but honestly, it's confusing because the color that I just put on the outside should be inside the room. So since I like to, this is my first time, well, not my first time, but like I'm pretty new to adding depth in my paintings, and I'm still working on it, developing a new style. I used to work very flat, you could say. I used to do a lot of like plain black backgrounds, like space-like paintings, and it was very easy for me to work on the black because if I make a mistake, I can just go over it with black. If I do this, I have to color match it, and it's honestly a little bit more difficult, but I really like the color way more than just the black now. Yeah, the pink. I like the pink too. Pink is my favorite. Well, I like to say it's my favorite color, but I like all the colors, so. And I'm thinking, so I was just going to do pink on the top, but now that I think about it, everything looks better when it's rainbow. I don't know why, it just does. So I'm thinking for the roof, I'm going to do rainbow because why not? I could just do plain pink, but it just looks so much, I like the vibe with the rainbow. So I'm thinking I'm going to cover it with white. I don't necessarily have to do this, but it kind of makes the colors pop a little bit better if I do white underneath. Okay, I also like black. I mean, most of my early, I would say early, the first 2 to 3 years of me painting, everything has a black background. Like, that's my usual go-to. First I started trying to paint with color because I want to, kind of push myself to go out of my comfort zone. And I kind of like it. But I also have a ton of paintings that have black on the background because I love black, and honestly black is the only color that I normally wear, ironically, because I love rainbow. But I also love black, even though it's just the combination of all colors. So now I'm gonna dry it again. Actually, look, this is just messy. I just touched it and there's paint on me. Sometimes you need to be careful because I'll touch it and then I'll touch like a part of the painting that should not have that color on it, but it's fine. I'm gonna dry it real quick. And then this is gonna get better as I go. Okay, well. Awesome. That's great. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure black is a combination of all colors, and then white is the absence of all colors. I'm not a pro, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. And I also only wear all black. Like, my pants are normally black, my shirt's black. I don't know. It's so easy to put together an outfit when I just have a black shirt, and I'm not very fashionable though, so. And my mom makes all my clothes, funny enough. So now I'm gonna do rainbow, and this is how I paint rainbow. Hi, thanks for joining my live stream and for saying hi. Welcome. I'm painting rooms inside rooms, and I don't know what it's going to look like. I had no clue what I was painting before I sat down. I didn't even know what size painting I was going to do, but I decided I like finishing paintings, and if I want to finish one, it's like 6 p.m. here almost. My grandma actually teaches me most of the things that I know. So if I don't know anything or if I need advice, I just ask her because she's been doing art her entire life. She's really talented. She mostly does like portraits and landscapes and still life. She's really talented. And she teaches me everything that I know. And I always grew up in a family of artists, but I never really wanted to paint when I was little. It was more so just something that I did when I was like, visiting with my grandma or something. And then I just thought I was a bad painter, honestly, because I would just kind of like put colors down and not really have an idea of what I was doing, and I just thought it would work, and it didn't. But then when I realized, if you don't like the painting, you just have to keep on going. That's what really changed everything, because there's like an ugly phase, and I'd say like depending on how big the canvas is, the first hour or two is like disgustingly ugly in my opinion, and I hate it. But if I push through that, it always ends up looking really good because I don't let it be finished until I like it. Oh, thank you for subbing. I really appreciate that. I'm going to be doing more live streams when I can. I'm going to probably be doing more so in the beginning of June, but I'm going to be posting as much as I can. I've been posting a lot though, like honestly, like 4 or 5 times a day at least. You should try drawing again, because I quit. I didn't do it for my entire life until a few years ago. And I don't even know what made me decide to do it again, but I'm really glad that I did, because I actually really enjoy creating. And honestly, I have to be honest and say I enjoy the final product more than I do the process most of the time. But it's really satisfying when I finish something and I like it, like I put it on my wall and I enjoy it. Yeah, I also drew a lot when I was around 16, and I used to actually do a lot of pen work, and I can't use pens anymore because it's hard on my hands. I was in a car accident a few years back, and I have pain from that. That's not right. I need to blend that better. Yeah, Liam, you definitely need to start painting again or drawing again. You should try, or at least something. You don't even have to do that. You could try a new art form, but you should definitely create again, because I was pretty bad. I'm not going to say bad, but I was not that great at it when I first started back up, and now I really enjoy it because I can actually, most of the, not, well, some, look at that. I just ruined it. I can usually put together an idea that I have in my head on a canvas now, and I really enjoy that, because usually it was just thoughts that I had and it never looked the way that I wanted it to. And now I'm also starting to add more realistic looking objects in my paintings, which I didn't think that I was capable of. And I like it because it makes it more surreal, because I'll use reference photos for those, but usually I just paint from my brain. Okay, that's not perfect. Look at that. That's so annoying. Like that bothers me. I'm gonna dry it, and I'm gonna try to blend that out better, because it's just not working with me right now. I think that landscapes with cities is really cool, and I'm not really, that's like something that I wish that I was better at doing. I think that you should definitely start doing that again. I think it will be really nice to be able to put together your, you know, things that you like looking at. And even if you don't like it, just start over. It's okay. You're not gonna love everything that you do. And honestly, there was this one painting that I kind of hated, and I had no clue how to finish it. I spent like 40 hours on it, and then I just decided to paint all over it and start over again, and that was the painting that went viral on TikTok, and it started my, painting again. It made me, realize maybe I should start doing this again. But the funny thing is, it's not even one of my favorite paintings. It's actually that painting. Wait, this is the painting that I'm talking about. So that's the painting, but it looked really different. Hey, you say that you do makeup, right? Or like clown makeup? That's creative, and that's an art form in itself. So you are a creative person, and that is your art, and I think that's amazing. So now I'm just gonna, the more layers, the better, in my opinion, because the more layers I put down, the more solid the paint looks. And especially with this color, not this color, but this specific paint. This color I can show you in a second. I'll get the bottle. It is fluorescent pink, but I use so much of it that I just bought the cheap one. So it's just like the basic one. And it's not as opaque as other brands are. So it takes more layers. And then my other paints, my grandma actually got them for me, and they are Liquitex Professional, and those ones I love. They are perfect paints, in my opinion. So this is where we're at. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, that's awesome. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm really bad at doing makeup. But I can paint, kind of. Also, guys, I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break. I'll be back in like a few minutes, and then I will keep going on the painting. So I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Thanks for waiting. It's pretty cool that you guys both do that. Okay, so now I'm gonna dry it again. I keep touching it when it's probably wet paint, but. Okay. Now we go inside and we make the room. So I do want to obviously make it more solid with another layer of paint, but before I do that, I'm going to put the floor down and the walls actually, because it doesn't really matter if I make that solid on the bottom because I'm going to paint over it. So I think I'm going to do it. So, let's see. trying to decide how much floor I want. The more floor I do, the less rooms I can, or the smaller the other rooms are going to be, because I only have a limited size that I'm working on. But I want to put some objects on the ground, at least one or two. I don't think that it's, you know, crazy or anything like toxic to touch him. I also have cadmium-free paint. I do get, you know, it's just messy, but I think it's oil paints that is more toxic, at least to breathe in, which is why I never decided to start oil painting. It's a totally different ball game, I'm pretty sure, but oil paint is toxic to breathe in. You should be wearing masks, and I don't think people do that, but that's what my grandma always told me whenever I said, I want to do oil painting, and she was like, it's toxic, don't do that. And all paint is kind of toxic, but I think oil paint is more toxic, and it's also, you can't put it in the sink. Like, you can't just wash it down the sink since it's oil. And you also need to wait like days for the painting to dry before you can work on it again. And I am impatient. And I also work with layers, so probably wouldn't be a good thing for me to do. Okay, this is like awful right here, but whatever. It's pretty, I don't know. That's what my grandma tells me. I would always Google things that I say, but my grandma told me that, so I believe her. It's more toxic than acrylic paint is, at least. It can be, but, you know, it's not gonna kill you. It's kind of like smoking and stuff like that. It's like, it could give you cancer, but I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that on here. And you shouldn't do it, but that doesn't mean that everybody who does it is going to get that problem. So I'm thinking I'll do a ceiling. Okay, this paintbrush is a little bit too big for the space that I'm working on, but whatever. And then I'm just gonna kind of go like this. Honestly, I think oil painting looks beautiful, and it's great for landscapes and stuff like that. No hate to oil paint. I wish that I was oil painting, honestly, because I feel like it'd be so much easier to blend. But it's just, I feel like I'm not probably able to do it. I don't have places to let paintings sit and dry. But you actually probably know way more about it than I do, so if you want to answer any of those questions, it would probably be more helpful than me answering the questions about oil painting. Okay, I literally just messed that up. Okay, now we're gonna just do the other side and see how that goes. See if it's even or not. Probably won't be, but we'll make it even as I can. So I'm gonna put a ceiling, but I'm gonna do the walls first. I guess it's kind of like building a real house. You need the walls before you can put the ceiling on, probably. I would imagine. Let's see how that's looking. It's okay. See, this is like the ugly phase, you know? This is part of the ugly phase. It can get uglier, but it'll look good at the end. I'll make sure of it. At least good to me. I also just messed that up. Of course, whatever. Life goes on, I guess. Okay. So that's like, I'm totally drawing on the ceiling right now. Okay, let's see. Well, that one's bigger. What did I ask? I was just saying is that you know more about oil paint than I do. And so, if you know any of the answers and you want to answer, feel free, but no need. This is not your live stream. You're just here to chill. So I'm about to dry it real quick. And then I'm going to add, I think, a ceiling and touch up the space. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, Gems the Clown had some questions, I'm pretty sure. But I'm not sure. If I do have questions, though, I'll ask you. You should definitely start painting again, or drawing. Okay, so now I'm gonna do this color for the wall. It's like kind of darker than obviously it was before, but whatever. It's okay. Kind of like the solid color. And if I make any mistakes, I can literally just go over with this color and kind of touch it up because this is the color from the tube. I like to make my life easier, not harder. Actually, that's a lie. I always do checkered pattern, which is not the easiest route. So I guess that's not true. I make my life more difficult with that, but I always like the way it turns out. I don't know. Gems, are you here? Or did you leave us? I don't know, but Gems has been here since the beginning, I'm pretty sure, and it's been a while, so maybe they have to do something. I'm glad that you're here, Liam. And I have 3 watchers, so if you're not commenting just now, that's okay, and I still appreciate you joining. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them. Oh, look at that. I have the worst, I don't have a steady hand. Can you see? I'm so sorry. I'm like just going for it. I didn't even realize it's not even on the painting. Okay, so we've got this down. Now let's see if it's even. Kind of. I fear I might mess it up if I go for it again. But thank you. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. And thanks for watching me paint. I've never done this before. This is my first live stream. Okay. So now we've got the walls. Now I'm debating on putting a ceiling, and I think I should. Putting a ceiling up here, kind of like the rainbow one. First, I'm actually going to go over the floor again and just kind of like even it out. And then I'm gonna do grass. Well, it's probably not gonna look like grass, but it's gonna be green, so. Oh, well, I'm glad that you like watching people paint. I agree though, like if it's soothing. I'm glad that you like watching me paint. I'm gonna start doing this more often as soon as I can. Okay, so this is what we're working with. This floor is going to be, I'm thinking black or rainbow. Checkered board. So I'm just gonna go over again because the white is going to be on some of the, opposite checkered pieces, I guess you would call it. So this is what we're working with. 2 rooms. And now I'm gonna dry it again. I'm also going to spray my paints again. So I'm just gonna give them like another little spritz to keep them moist. So now I am going to do a ceiling. And I feel like I like the size of my paintbrush, obviously, but I feel like I'm gonna mess it up. So I'm going in with this tiny one. I know it's like a big difference, but this is a 3/0. And I'm just gonna kind of like outline where I want the ceiling to go. And I'm thinking like maybe this. Just so I don't mess that up because I feel like it's like a really tight space. Oh, I'm already messing it up. Okay. It's fine. Now I need to go straight across, which is like really kind of like I'll see at the end if I actually went straight across or not. Also, if my painting is ever not in the frame, I apologize. I'm not really looking at the screen too much. But obviously, I'm happy to answer questions if you have any. Okay. Okay. Oh, well, thank you for bearing with me. I guess I'm just gonna finish it out with a small paintbrush because it's kind of like whatever. Not that much space. And this canvas is 5x7, by the way. If you were curious. I feel like it's definitely not, this side is lower, but I'm gonna fix it afterwards because I can't really tell by how much. Okay, we're starting to get somewhere. It's funny, like when I paint, I don't know what I'm doing until I do it. So it's kind of like I'm exploring this new dreamscape world that I'm obviously creating, but I don't have a plan and I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I just kind of like go with the flow every time. Sometimes I have like a sketch idea, but it doesn't really translate usually exactly the way that, you know, I sketch it. So now it looks more like a room. You should get a canvas like this. It's pretty non-committal, I would say. It's, you know, it's 5x7. It's not huge. It's, you know, I can get this done and you could get it done, you know, faster. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how complicated the landscapes are. But mine probably take around, like 3 to 4 hours for maybe longer. I don't know. I've never done a painting that will probably be like this exactly. This is probably going to be more detailed than my other ones that I do because every painting I do, I kind of like learn something new and try new things. So now I'm painting grass, going in with the yellow first, kind of like a highlight, you know. I could do white, but sometimes it's just nice to do color as the highlight and shadow, in my opinion. And now I'm gonna do it kind of like with the dark green This is phthalo green. And I think the other one, I don't know, it's probably like lime green, maybe? I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. It's kind of hard to do it when I like can't go past a certain, you know, spot on the canvas, but it's all right. And I don't really have a system or like a process that I stick to. It's just kind of like whatever works. I just read your comment. That's very specific. I I don't know if that's, I mean, I don't think it's bad. I'm gonna have to check that out. Does my painting look scary? Yay, please draw again. That's honestly, if I, look, my finger betrayed me. That's, see, now I go into panic mode and I take a piece of my towel and dip it in water and just hope that it's not, like too far. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Well, that's what's gonna happen to my painting. We are going to room after room. It's kind of like liminal, and backroom-y, which I kind of like, to be honest. Even though I do have nightmares about being stuck in like back rooms, but they're usually frightening, and I have people chasing me. So I just hope one day I'll have a dream where I'm in these back rooms, rather than the terrifying ones. So now I'm just gonna hope that this blends out properly. I might have to go in for another layer even though I don't want to. I just want it to be over with, but whatever. Okay, that's kind of like what it's gonna look like. I'm gonna dry it now because I'm gonna mess up and touch it if I don't. Actually only started having nightmares after my car accident, and I get very vivid dreams. Sometimes I lucid dream, and it's even scarier when there's like, you know, like demons attacking me because I can literally feel the pain. But also on the other side of that, I can taste things in my dreams, so sometimes I will just eat whatever I desire in my dream. Like the other day, I had chocolate mousse cheesecake in my dream, and it was delicious. And a Thai tea. And a matcha. It's actually really nice. And I had some sushi, some nigiri. But I started to feel myself waking up when I started ordering the sushi, and I was like, hurry up, I need to eat this before I wake up. Yeah, I was in a car accident in 2019. I got T-boned when I was leaving my apartment at the time. And I don't like that color as much. It was I mean, I'm not gonna say it was horrible, like it could have been worse, obviously, but the airbags went off and I have chronic hand pain because of that accident. And like, you know, back pain, sleep issues, but it's fine, you know, I deal with it. And I'm still able to paint, thankfully. So I'm really grateful for that. Oh, I wish I dreamt about candy. Actually, I have dreamt about like a Candyland once in my life, and it was awesome. It was like when I was in middle school. I still remember it because I was like, this is amazing. I wish I dreamt like this more often. And I did dream about like gummies not that long ago, but I have bad teeth, so in the dream I was like, I guess I probably shouldn't be eating that because I don't want to ruin my teeth, which is kind of funny because I'm dreaming. That's the time to do it. but I love candy. Like when I was younger. I mean, still now, but I try to eat more fruit instead, like nature's candy. But I am a candy lover. I am a sweets lover. I love sugar. Anything with sugar, sign me up. Okay, that is like, that side sucks. It's kind of annoying because I don't want to ruin it and I feel like I might. Sometimes I do that and I'm like, oh, that's so annoying. Like, that's too dark. Oh, look at that. Now I have to start over basically. This happens and I'm like, oh, now I have to reblend all of it probably. Or maybe I can get away with not blending it too much. Okay. How does that look? Oh, that sounds fun. That's really cool. I bet you have super cool candies. Do you just like try them on your live stream and stuff? Glitter. No, I don't use glitter, but I've thought about it before. I think it would be too messy. And it might fall off, but I'm about to try it. And thank you, I appreciate it. Now, I'm gonna have to do it at some point, so might as well do it now. I am going to paint the checkered floor. And I just realized that is insanely not even. That's crazy. It's so off. I'm so glad I caught that before I started painting the checkered. Because it would have been kind of, you know, confusing to do it after. That's still off a little bit. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, that's so fun. That's so niche. I like that though. That's kind of like, I feel like you would eat candy at a carnival. I feel like it's that kind of a vibe and I like that. Okay, does that look more even? Ooh, that sounds delicious. You're in Europe though, right? Because I feel like Europe has really good candy and chocolate and stuff. How does that look? Ooh, whipped cream. That sounds, you guys, I'm not supposed to be eating as many sweets right now and you're making it tempting. Okay, I'm gonna dry it real quick. I love chocolate. I love all sweets, but chocolate, yeah. I love chocolate, dark chocolate, especially. Candy and chips. Oh, that sounds so good. I don't work out a lot. I eat everything in sight and don't work out a lot. I'm very sedentary. It's bad. I'm a lazy person, I would say. It looks uneven, but it looks uneven, doesn't it? That one's lower. All right. I'm gonna fix it because it's gonna bother me if I don't. Wait, but it doesn't look lower, but it does. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like it looks lower, but it's a little lower. It's a little, am I crazy? I'm a little crazy, aren't I? This is probably just a little bit off. Okay. German chips sound delicious. I'm about to try it again. I don't want to paint this floor. I feel like it's obviously my own free will. but I don't want to, but I want it to look like it's painted. So I'm gonna do it. We're just gonna get it over with. Once I'm done with it, the rest of the painting will look a little bit better. Now it's like kind of even. This is as even as it's gonna get, so. Now, tell me if you can't see the painting as well from this angle. I'm using a different tripod than I would normally, I feel like, and that I don't want to get paint on my table, so that's kind of a dangerous game that I'm playing right there. Okay, we're gonna go for it, and you're gonna see how this goes down normally, because this is just, this is how I do it. We're gonna start off, we just freehand it, and just hope that it looks okay, basically. It's worked out before, mostly, so. And I'm gonna do bigger, and by bigger I mean like taller, taller squares at the front, and then I'm gonna get smaller as I go back to make it look like you're looking at it in the distance, you know? So I'm just gonna go like this, and kind of just paint it at an angle until I feel like that angle needs to change. I have no method, I've just kind of done it this way. And then I kind of make sure it's even across, but whatever. It's probably a little bit taller right here. So the closer I get to the center, the less of an angle I'm going to use. I'm just gonna go like that. I can always put another layer on top of it after, and we'll see how it looks. Germany sounds really cool. I've never been to Germany before. I have been to Mexico. Mexico is cool too. But I've never really been to Germany. Well, I haven't been, not really been. I have been to Israel, and that's the only place that I've really gone that's far away from the United States. Not that I don't want to, it's just, I don't know. It's expensive. And I don't know. I feel like ever since my car accident and getting older, I haven't been wanting to travel too much, but I usually, when I do travel, not that anybody asks, but when I do travel, I usually go to see my family. And they live across the country, and that's where I grew up, but I moved across the country. So now I'm far away from them, unfortunately. So I normally, when I travel, I go visit them. Oh, I hope you have a good day, Ryder. Thank you for being here. I don't know if you're just leaving or if you're joining, but welcome or bye. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much. And thanks for watching. I'm just painting checkered floors, and this is the process on how that happens, because it's almost in every single one of my paintings, and it's kind of a tedious, repetitive process. And honestly, these look really big. Like, the squares look big, which is whatever, but it's kind of a little bigger than what I was hoping for, but that's okay. I guess that means I won't have to do as many, which is fine with me, to be honest, so. So this is the first row. Now we check to see if it's about the same height. It looks like this white, we'll fix that later. I actually live in California currently, and it's really nice here. I really like it. The weather is great, and the people are really nice. Actually, you'd be surprised. I know that maybe some people think that the people here are not nice, but I think those people are just hanging out with the wrong people. Because I think everybody here is really nice, and I think that they're really, active, not minus me, but they're usually really active. They usually, enjoy the weather, and I think, how could you be upset when you are in a beautiful place? Or maybe not as upset as you could be somewhere else. But I do think it's important, the people who you surround yourself with, even if that is in a not so pleasant place. If you have good people around you, that's all that really matters at the end of the day. But I am really grateful to be able to experience the beauty of California. And honestly, I feel like I don't need to really travel as much as I used to, because I'm happy with where I live. Oh, that sounds really cool. Vegas is definitely an experience, So it's an American experience, and the food is really good in Vegas. Like, Vegas has probably some of the best food that I've ever tried. That and New York. But Vegas, the buffets, it's definitely probably a really American thing. But I love buffets because I like a little bit of everything, and the buffets are so good. They're really expensive, though, but it's a good experience if you're, traveling, The buffets, the food, it's just like top tier food in Vegas, so that'll be fun. Do you know where in California you're gonna go? Oh, that sounds fun. That'll be really cool. That's nice that they have a house there. Do you get to see them a lot? Or did they just like buy a house there kind of thing? I don't know if they live there or not. If you want to share about that, you don't have to. Oh, that's fun. That's nice. Oh, that sounds really cool. That's really fun. That's exciting. So this is when it starts to come together just a little bit. And that's a tiny square, but I guess I could always fix it, or I don't have to, because it's just art. Now they're gonna get progressively smaller until it's too small for me to even really paint. I can't believe I have 7 people watching. Hi, everyone. And thank you. I appreciate it, Lamb. Thank you. Every time I do the checkered floors, I'm like, alright, it's maybe not that bad. But, well, not when I'm during the process. Sometimes on my, I painted a entire road on a 2-foot painting. It was so difficult. Or not difficult, it was just I was like, is it gonna be over soon? Please stop. I don't like it. But I like it after. Aw, that's really sweet of you, thank you. I am gonna try my best to finish it on this live stream. I feel like I owe that to you. Since you have committed. I'm gonna try to finish this as not fast, I'm gonna say, but my goal is to be a more efficient painter. So the faster I can paint, the more paintings I can paint. And I want to be able to sell original paintings and make them a reasonable price. I mean, as reasonable as I can for how long it takes me. And I get really attached to them, to be honest, but I need to start sharing my art. I did sell one original that was this size to someone who they're in Japan right now actually, and they are really sweet and they bought a painting and they said they liked it, so that was nice. But that was my first original that I've sold, so that was exciting. I normally just have in the past just made paintings for family and friends, but I want to make this a living, so it'll also be cool to be able to just like, you know, do live streams and stuff like that. I mean, I know that's not realistic, but that would make me really happy because I enjoy chatting. Oh, Japan sounds so cool. I love that. I've never been, but I've always wanted to go. I have a friend who went to Japan and she would totally move there if she could. She loves it. And she has been learning Japanese for the past few years. Okay, we're almost done with this part. Thankfully. Kind of, halfway. Honestly, the smaller they get, the less work. I just laughed and I messed it up. I laughed at myself and I messed it up. When are you going to Japan? Okay, we're getting somewhere. Look at that. 4 rows complete. Cool beans. Now we keep going. It's more tedious as they get smaller, but that's the way it goes when you paint perspective, apparently. Oh, that sounds really cool. Japan looks amazing. I guess Japan isn't that far from you since you're in Europe, right? I mean, maybe my geography is bad. I guess it's closer to you than it is to me, probably. Maybe so far, maybe